Can you really believe it, Claire? We finally managed to buy ourselves our own house after all this time.
I know. It feels amazing, doesn't it? We don't have to pay rent or deal with crazy landlords anymore ever again. I love that we have our own house. Just love it!
We signed all the contracts. We got the loan, plus the hefty sum of money that you came up with. The house finally became ours. It was all possible thanks to you, sweetie. Thanks so much for the help.
Aw, that's sweet. But come on, it's not all just my doing. After all, we did it together. And since I did the best I could to pay for the wedding expenses too, now all that's left to do is for us to live happily ever after.
Yeah. Thanks for agreeing to marry such a dope like me, Claire. Let's do our best to make it our best lives possible.
Yeah, agreed. Let's not ever fight just like we promised each other on our wedding day. And we're going to live so blissfully happy together until we grow old and gray, sitting in our rocking chairs.
I love you even more when you say such sweet words, hon. Let me know when you get off work later in the evening. I'll come and pick you up at your office.
All right, thanks. You're the best. I'll see you in the evening then. Hi, Carol! This is Penelope, Paul's sister. I've got something to ask you. Do you have a minute?
Sure, Penelope. What did you want to ask me?
Well, I just wanted to ask you exactly how old your car is.
My car? I think it's about 10 years old.
Yeah, because I remember my father bought it for me after I got my driver's license when I was around 20 years old. So I think, yeah, it's been about 10 years now.
Why?
Oh, nothing. It's just that I saw it today and it looked like it was almost ready to be sent to the junkyard to be scrapped. So that's why I just wanted to ask, how many years it's been since you bought the car, exactly?
Yeah, I know it looks quite old, but it still runs pretty well. I've been doing my best to maintain it as much as possible.
Well, I don't know how to tell you this, but I think that's probably just how you like to look at it. I don't think others will quite say the same about your car. People probably think that we must be near homeless to be riding around in something like that. Why don't you just sell that old junk car and use that money to change Paul's car instead? It's not like you need to use the car to go anywhere for long periods of time anyway.
Actually, Penelope, I also need to drive to work, and sometimes I do need to go long distances also. And to be honest, I don't really care about other people's opinions too much in general, so it doesn't bother me too much what they think of my car.
Wow! For real? Well, you're quite the brave one, aren't you? If I were you, I would have scrapped my car a long time ago because I would be too embarrassed to drive it around. Be careful with that thing, Claire. It looks like one of its tires suddenly will fall off and you will end up in a car accident while driving it around or something.
There's not a chance that that's happening, so don't you worry about that. Well, anyway, thanks so much for showing your concern. It was nice to meet you today. Hey, babe. Thinking about changing my car. What? Why? What are you talking about? Why would you change a perfectly functioning car? Well, the engine wouldn't start today, so I actually had to take the subway to work. The engine wouldn't start? Are you sure? Is it because it's so cold lately? Well, I mean, the car is a bit old, isn't it? Then why don't you take this opportunity to just scrap your old car and help me change my own car instead? There's this new model that I've been interested in buying these days. Paul, are you out of your mind? You just changed your car less than a year ago. Yeah, but if you're going to scrap your car anyway, then why not just help to change mine? Don't you think so? The one I'm driving now is not comfortable at all to drive, and it's always breaking down anyway. I've heard that in some cases, it can suddenly blow up in highways and stuff like that. Well, your car has never blown up in the highway, has it? Yeah, but still. Come on! You're being so unfair right now. Fine. But you don't get to change your car either then. It's just a waste of money. You can rent one instead.
I think renting a car will be even more of a waste of money. I'll have to think about it.
Wait, but do you even have the money to change your car?
Yeah, I do.
What? You do? Then how come you never told me?
It's my personal money that I saved up over the years with a lot of effort, and it's completely my own. So honestly, I didn't feel the need to tell you in the slightest. You must have your own savings account and stuff too, right? I never once said anything to you about that.
No, I'm not saying that I have a problem with that. But still, if you have the money to buy yourself a new car, then you could have definitely pitched in more when we bought our house.
Excuse me? I thought we had everything figured out together with the loan and the interest, and I did pitch in for the money that was missing. Was I supposed to tell you not to get the loan because I would pay for the whole house? Paul, I don't have that kind of money.
No, but I'm just saying that it's a bit regretful now that I know that you had more money to spend. It's a big burden for me to have to pay for the interest every month, you know?
Wow. You're speaking as if you were the only one who took on that burden to pay back the loan. Because the last time I checked, I am also paying it back with you month after month. I am already helping you financially in all areas that I can, so what exactly is the big issue here?
You know what? Forget it. Never mind. It's only gonna lead to another argument if it keeps on going like this. Fine. Do whatever the heck you want. Change your car or not. I don't even care anymore.
Okay, great. I'm going to go buy it today then. You told me to change it, right? You agreed? No takebacks.
Wow, you really changed it. You certainly have some high-level execution skills, don't you?
Well, yeah. You said I could change my car or whatever I wanted. So I changed it. What's the problem?
I still think that the way you spent that money is such a waste, no matter how much I think about it. If I knew that you had that money, we could have taken out a smaller loan for the house. Or you could have helped me to change my car instead.
Paul, I told you already. It's only been 1 year since you changed your car. The loan for the house was something that you already took out, and anyway, I already happily paid for my share of buying the house. I don't know how many times I have to tell you the same thing. I just don't get why you are so unhappy with this decision.
You just don't get it, do you? Don't you think that you're being too irrational with your spendings?
Excuse me?
I mean, don't you think that this was a very spur-of-the-moment decision to buy a new car just like that? Who goes out to buy a car the very same day that they had the idea? I mean, who does that? People usually think things through and ask themselves things like, is this really the right decision? Perhaps it could be used for more useful purposes.
I think you are forgetting that I need to go to work every day too. Would you rather have me not work and just stay at home instead? Do you want me to become a housewife who stays at home and goes to yoga class and brunches and stuff like that?
You know that's not what I'm saying. I'm just trying to say, couldn't you have been a bit more discreet with this decision? As usual, you sure have an unnatural ability of twisting my words.
Well, sorry, but to me it sounded like that's what you're saying. Anyway, I already changed the car. I can't return it now. So wouldn't it be better if you just let me enjoy the new car, now that I already got it? Your own sister told me that my car looks like it's going to all of a sudden blow out a tire in the middle of the road and flip over a couple of times. Your own wife was riding around in a car of that level. And you're seriously going to go on and on about my changing it?
You know what? Forget it. Fine. Yeah, the new car looks good. Happy?
Whatever. Let's just stop this back and forth. Stop texting me, and I guess I'll see you at home later.
What did you do now, Claire?
What happened?
I just passed by your house. Did you buy yourself a new car?
Oh, you saw that, did you? Yeah, I finally changed my old car. I mean, it's a used one, but still. Now at least I have a normal functioning car.
And where did you get the money to buy that car? Don't tell me that you bought it with the money that my darling son worked day and night for.
No, Yvonne, not at all. I had been keeping a savings account so that I can buy myself a new car. So when my old car finally broke down, I decided to spend it.
Are you out of your mind? Don't you think it was such a waste of all that money? Why would you use all of that up to buy yourself a car?
What? I told you that it was the money that I had been specifically saving up so that I can buy myself a new car.
If you had that kind of money, you could have spent it when you two were buying the house. Or you could use it towards paying back some of the loan now. Don't you think you're being so selfish here, only thinking of yourself? If you got married, then it's time to start thinking about your husband too. Not just about yourself.
Yvonne, I already paid my part of the share when we were buying the house. And it's not like I had saved up a ton of money here either. It was just enough to scrap my old junk car to change it for a normal one. I don't understand what is such a big issue with that.
You've just been married for less than a year, and you're already spending that much money and being so careless with your finances. I don't even know where to begin to teach you such things.
I already know all that I need to know, even if you don't teach me anything, Yvonne. So don't you worry about that.
Well, I sincerely disagree. I don't know if you're just being childish or just a bit empty-headed right now. If you weren't going to pay more towards buying the house, then we could have even given Penelope some spending money with that.
Why? Couldn't she work part-time in a restaurant or a shop or something? I heard all the college kids work part-time these days.
And why on earth would she do that? She has you and her brother working full-time and earning good money.
That's exactly why Penelope still has no sense of independence at her age. Because you spoil her so much. This is the only way she'll learn. By going out into the real world. Otherwise, she's going to have to learn it the hard way anyway when she starts working for real.
Why don't you mind your own business and take care of your own life instead, Claire?
Okay, sure, will do. By the way, thanks for dinner today.
Such an empty-headed person you are, Claire. I swear I can't even talk to you properly.
Hey, Claire. I heard that you changed your car. Is it because I said something to you the other day?
Hey, it's pretty late at night to be messaging right now, don't you think?
Yes, I did change my car. But it's because my car engine stopped working, so that's why I changed it. Not because of what you said earlier. Are you sure about that? I think you're lying.
Now, why on earth would I lie to you, Penelope?
Well, that's a real bummer. If I knew you had the money all along, then I would have asked you to give me more spending money before you left tonight.
Listen, Penelope. I'm not some ATM machine or wallet that you can just collect cash from whenever you want. And I'm not going to be buying you whatever you demand whenever you want. Anyway, I don't have any more money to spend.
I'm just saying that if you had the money to buy yourself a car, then you certainly had money to spare me a few bills so that I can buy myself some essential items. Are you actually stupid or just pretending not to understand me right now?
It's neither. Instead of asking me for your spending money, why don't you just start working part-time somewhere if you need extra cash to buy yourself a few things?
Why in the world would I do such a dumb thing if I barely have enough time to study for my classes right now? Are you going to take responsibility if my grades start falling? Anyway, you and Paul are already working and earning good money. So why would I work too? So annoying.
I never heard of someone's grades falling just because they started working part-time. And plus, we can't keep taking care of you and giving you money every time you need it like you're still a child or something. We also need to live and pay for our own lives and also save up money for important things that we need in the future.
Well, of course I know that. And I'm sure that you can take care of that well by yourselves. Can't you? Anyway, you really think that changing your car is not a waste of money? And yet giving to your only sister-in-law is such a waste of money to you, right? I didn't see you as that kind of person, but you really are a bit of a cheapskate.
Oh yeah, sure, Penelope. I am a big cheapskate, aren't I? You're right.
Yeah, that's why when I go to the supermarket and see anything on sale, I get so excited just to save a few bucks that day. Wow. Are you being serious right now? Yeah. So that's why I sincerely hope that you don't ask me to give you more allowance from this point onwards. I mean, it's hard enough as it is to get by for Paul and I, and you are certainly not helping. So, are you saying that it's my fault that you guys are struggling? It's not all your fault, but part of it certainly is. Anyway, if you've got nothing more to say, can we stop talking and just both go to sleep already? I have to go to work tomorrow, and I'm getting quite sleepy. Fine, whatever. Great. Why don't you go ahead and sleep too, if you don't want to be late for class?
Claire, are you free for lunch tomorrow?
Tomorrow? Well, I think I need to check my schedule first.
I wanted to ask if Penelope could borrow your car tomorrow.
Why? Penelope wants to borrow my car?
Yeah. She wants to go somewhere a bit far, and so she needs a car. You said it's a used car anyway, so I'm sure she can borrow it, right?
Well, I don't know. If she's going far, then does that mean that she won't make it back by evening time?
Yeah, most probably not. She'll be back later in the night.
So you want me to take the subway back home when I get off work tonight?
Yes, naturally. If my daughter wants to borrow your car today, then of course you will need to take the subway home in the evening. Why do you ask? Don't tell me that even this is too much to ask from you also.
Actually, yeah. It's going to be a bit much to ask from me. Anyway, I don't let just anyone borrow my car.
Anyone? Did you just call Penelope just anyone?
Yeah, I did call Penelope just anyone. I mean, it's not like we're related by blood or anything. Then that makes the two of us almost like strangers. I mean, strictly speaking, doesn't it?
Wow. You are just being so rude right now, Claire. Is it that difficult for you to let your sister-in-law borrow your car just for once? Why are you making such a big deal out of this? Anyway, you take away all the money that Paul makes for yourself all the time, don't you? And then you secretly save up your own money so that you can buy yourself a new car. The nerve!
Taking all the money from Paul for myself? Wow. What in the world are you even talking about right now?
Yeah, I said it. You couldn't even help out with buying your own house, and instead you decided to save it all up so you could eventually use it all for yourself. And then you don't even acknowledge that you did anything wrong here. Isn't that right? You have something more to add here.
Wow. I can't even right now.
I'm going to show you once and for all. I didn't take Paul's money, so please be sure to make sure of it with your own two eyes. Now look, just whose money are we using for daily expenses? And how much money I contributed towards buying our house. What the hell are you doing right now, Claire? You invited my mom and my sister just so you can upload this crap?
Yeah, what are you trying to do right now, Claire? What do you want from us? You want us to compliment you for spending more money? You act like you're so thrifty, and then it turns out you actually spend quite a lot on household expenses, huh?
Yeah, we never asked to see any of this. Why are you sending us this?
I knew it. It actually doesn't change a thing, does it? That I show you all the evidence. The reason I'm showing you all this is that now, none of you can tell me that I didn't spend enough money on the house. Or that I should have given more allowance money to Penelope or whatever. Actually, I would rather just get you all out of my life right now.
What did you just say? What are you talking about? What a rude young woman you are, Claire. You are talking to your own mother-in-law and asking me to get out of your life?
Yeah, exactly. Do you want me to repeat that? Just please get the hell out of my life. I want to file for a divorce. I am leaving Paul and you lousy people for good. I simply can't do this anymore. I mean, the only thing I did here was buy a car with my own damn money. And I don't know why I have to put up with such nonsense from any of you for doing such a simple thing. I contributed just as much to the household expenses as Paul from the very beginning. If I had to pay even more money for the house than I already did, then it would have been better if I would have just bought the house by myself. Isn't that right, Paul?
Yeah, but isn't asking for a divorce a bit of an overreaction here? And what about the loan? Do you expect me to pay back the loan all by myself? In just 2 years, we need to pay back the money and the interest altogether. Now, how do you expect me to do that without your help?
Well, I don't know and I don't care. All I know is that I'm divorcing you. Why should I care if you pay back your loan or not? You can whine about it all you want to your amazing, lovely mother. Oh, and by the way, you can keep the house. But you better give me back the money that I gave you to buy the house within this month. Claire, don't you think you're being super dramatic right now?
Yeah, it seems like you're pretty angry at the moment, so why don't you calm down first and then we can talk it out. I agree. I think you're being way too emotional right now, Claire. How do you expect us to pay you back all that money within just 1 month?
Honestly, I don't think it's any of my business how you managed to come up with my money. Just take care of it, will you? And you, Yvonne, you really did so well raising your 2 kids, didn't you? Your lazy daughter is 20 years old and she doesn't even know how to get a part-time job to earn any money for herself. And your dear son is now about to become a divorcee.
Claire, please, let's meet and discuss this. In person. I'm begging you, Claire. I admit that I was totally in the wrong here. Let's get our heads clear and we then can talk it out together heart to heart.
Ah, hell no! I never want to meet you or talk with you ever again. So please just get out of my life as soon as possible. Let's not run into each other ever again in our lives, even by accident. My mother-in-law, who complained, asking why I didn't contribute more when we were buying our house instead when I bought a car with my own hard-earned money. My husband, who wanted me to use my money to change his car instead of mine. And my sister-in-law, who wanted me to give her more allowance instead of buying myself a car. After dealing with all that unnecessary stress, I finally blew up and decided to get a divorce with Paul. He actually managed to pay me back the money that I had put down to buy the house just in time to meet my deadline. To be honest, there were some red flags I noticed before we had gotten married, but I didn't know that the problems would actually be this serious. After finally becoming single again, I was able to become more focused on my own work, and my hard work was eventually recognized enough that I was made the branch manager of an overseas office. Now I ride around in a brand new car, not a used one. And I have even met a great person to be in a new loving relationship with. I think my life can become a little bit shinier too moving forward. Don't you think? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to see more content.